if I told you there's an asset out there that has two completely different prices at the exact same time? An asset that seems to just break the fundamental laws of finance. Well, today we're diving deep into the very strange and absolutely fascinating economic strategy of the Pi network. And no, that's not a typo. This isn't some glitch in the matrix. This is the central mystery we're going to unravel right now. You see, on a normal exchange, a Pi coin might be listed for, a few cents. But inside its own community, a totally different and much higher value is being created. So how on earth is that possible? Well, the answer starts right here. The slide says it's outside the traditional rules. And you got to understand, this isn't an accident. It's by design. Pi Network is built to be a non-conformist currency. It's designed from the ground up to completely shatter that old model where speculators and big money players decide what something's worth. Here, the community is in charge.
And this slide, wow, it lays it all out perfectly. You've got the old way on one side, value is all about external markets, wild speculation, and, let's be honest, manipulation. But the Pi model, it flips the entire script. It's an internal economy where value comes from real use, from people actually agreeing on its worth, and from a built-in scarcity. This means every single miner, you, become a co-creator of that value.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question, right? If you just throw out the old rulebook, who gets to write the new one? If it's not the exchanges, who's really in control of the price?
And this, right here, is the absolute heart of this entire economic experiment. The value isn't something you just discover on a screen. It's something that is actively built, piece by piece, transaction by transaction, by the millions of people who are part of the network. It's a massive shift in how we think about money. And this little pipeline shows you exactly how that value gets built. It all starts with you, the pioneers, mining Pi. Then the network gets validated and secured. But look at step 3, that's the magic ingredient. Real usage. People start actually using Pi to buy and sell real things, real services inside the ecosystem. That is what creates real-world, tangible value that can then expand across the globe.
So the first big idea you have to get is use value. Forget all the Wall Street craziness for a second. The logic here is simple. A currency is worth what you can actually get for it. Its value comes directly from its utility. What can you buy? What can you sell? What can you do with it inside the Pi world?
And the second key concept is community consensus. This is the human layer. It's basically a massive shared agreement among millions of people that all says, yep, we agreed, this is what a Pi is worth to us. It's this collective belief, backed up by all those real transactions, that sets and holds the value.
So when you put it all together, the core strategy is actually pretty genius. Combine scarcity with utility. You start by giving something away for free, right? To get it into millions of hands. Then, you limit the supply while building a whole ecosystem of apps and services around it. It literally transforms from just a number on a screen into a real tool for global transactions.
And the tech itself is built for this. The protocol actually allows for what the slide calls self-fixing of value. It basically gives the power to the users, to you, to establish a high price just by using it and trading with each other inside this closed loop.
Okay, so how does this value really get locked in? This is where it gets super interesting. Instead of some big centralized exchange calling the shots, the value emerges from something called Decentralized Liquidity Pools. Just think of them as community-owned funds where people agree on a price by putting their own assets in, with no middleman taking a cut or messing with the numbers.
And you can never, ever underestimate the power of these numbers. We're talking about a community of over 35 million people. They call themselves pioneers. That's a population bigger than a lot of countries, all working together to literally build a new economy from the ground up.
This quote really says it all, doesn't it? The core team, sure, they can build the platform, they can give you the tools, but they can't just invent value out of thin air. That power is handed directly to the users, to the pioneers. Your participation is the engine that actually makes this whole thing run.
So this entire massive economic experiment really boils down to a simple, powerful mission for every single person involved. You hold your assets, which creates scarcity. You build the ecosystem by using apps and making transactions. And you validate the network to keep it all safe and secure. The question is no longer what will the market do, the real question is what will the community build?